Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're going to be discussing how app development has evolved over the years and the trends we're seeing in the space. Mobile applications play a vital role in the growth and expansion of businesses. And there are some trends in the industry that companies must understand to stay relevant. Band of Coders has an amazing team of experts who can help create mobile apps for clients across various industries. And today we're going to be talking about what they're seeing in the space and how they help their clients create the latest and greatest apps. To explain more is Mike Ralph, Managing Director at Band of Coders. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Rachel.
First, let's kick it off by telling me a little bit more about your role at Band of Coders.
Sure. I've been a developer full-time for about 15 years now. As Managing Director with Band of Coders, I use my experience to put together teams to deliver end products to businesses. So I guide the team in delivering the vision and maintaining the product post-launch.
Great. So I read that mobile apps are projected to generate more than $613 billion in revenue in 2025. Now that's a pretty incredible number. And in your years of experience, did you ever expect mobile apps to gain this much traction?
Well, 600 billion annual market is a lot, considering when I started out, the iPhone 1 was just brand new, and the Apple and Google stores still weren't a thing for another 18 months after that. But at the time, I wasn't really thinking about this. It wasn't really front of mind to me, so I didn't know what to expect. But when we look at it today, I think maybe 600 billion is actually a little bit low. It doesn't reflect all the value added by apps that don't sell. So free apps or apps that aren't public, maybe that are used inside a company. And yeah, so eventually basically the ones that we do see, they're winning because they make something convenient or just better for the end users. Mm-hmm. So yeah, 600 billion does, like today, it seems pretty low actually.
Got it. All right, so is there a particular industry or industries that are driving this steady growth?
Not a particular industry. So the recent growth in apps has been spread across industries. Just a few examples. So maybe people watching have experience with some of these, like food service apps that let you pre-order. You pay in the app, you skip the lineup. So they make that a lot easier for their users. Healthcare apps, maybe you need medicine reminders or booking visits, or just the ability to say, okay, I'm in the parking lot, I'm waiting in my car, and then they notify you when it's time to come in. That sort of thing. Maybe finance, we have blockchain or ledger or crypto related things, but possibly my single favorite feature in an app is the ability to take a picture of a check and deposit a check to your bank. And it is so convenient and saves me the very few trips I do make to the branch. I don't even really have to do those anymore. And then finally, many people have experience with this, like customer loyalty apps. So think about like your local coffee shop. You might have gift cards. Maybe they even recently replaced gift cards entirely with this app. So they're tracking points. Maybe you can opt in to get notifications about special deals. And what they get in return is they get to produce fewer of these plastic cards that end up as waste.
Yeah, no, I love that. So what are some other trends you're seeing in the mobile app space?
Yeah, so some more recent trends in mobile apps. I guess basically all the stuff that wasn't possible 5 or 10 years ago. So, AI and so artificial intelligence and machine learning, those are relatively new. They existed years ago, but we didn't have the computing power, much less the computing power carried around in our pockets, along with quality cameras. So we can leverage these things. So I'm waiting for more apps to just sort of take advantage of the research that's been done around this. So for example, you can assist people with vision and audio interpreting who need that sort of assistance, or you can do things like read plain text, like just point it at a newspaper and have it read to you in natural language. These are all things that have been developed with many years of research, and now the models are actually good enough that they can produce great results without sounding very robotic like they used to. Right. Another sort of segment, wearables and Internet of Things. So think things like smartwatches or your home thermostat, or something like just monitoring your power, water consumption at home, or even just turning on your lights and things like that. Or, did you forget to lock the door? You can unlock your doors now with a phone. So you can monitor things, and, all the way down to monitoring the temperature of your barbecue without opening the lid. Little things that help end users have an easier experience. And of course, gaming has always been pretty big, and it continues to be a really big deal. They drive lots of revenue, through their various types of games that they have. But that just comes down to people craving new entertainment. And that could be just you got bored of your game, or new smaller games, like, back to the loyalty program example, where they might have a mini game. Hey, double your points that on your transaction by playing this little game. And, it's just something for you to do that'll keep their brand in mind. Other things like fantasy sports has its real life tie-ins and things like that. So just another way to engage just with the device we already carry around in our pocket.
Yeah, I love that. Those are some great examples. So if you are a company, why should you choose to invest in an app?
Why should you choose to invest in an app? No, it's not for everybody. So I guess first off, I would suggest just everyone stick to your core business. That's what you know the best. If you're a tradesperson and you want to just get your name out, you want to be discovered, you don't necessarily need to have your own app. So your job, it isn't necessarily producing software. In this example, if you're a drywaller or something, you don't necessarily need to have your own app. If you have a website that is a little more than your business card, maybe some pictures of your work, you don't need a dedicated app. What you need is more of a directory. But if you're finding that that's lacking, maybe you do have a great idea, and we can talk about how to make that or discover if that's a viable option. So, for example, you're not having a very successful time being discovered on the existing directories. So you decide, what, I'm gonna see about launching my own and contacting my friends in the industry, seeing if they can sign up, asking what they think of the idea. So that, big ideas can come from anybody. Also, I'm waiting for an established company that wants to do sort of the do everything app. You have an app right now that does your, maybe you can badge into the security door. You have 2-factor authentication. You have another app for messaging, another app to, maybe trigger the coffee machine from your desk or something like that. But I'm waiting for a company that wants to say, you know what, we're kind of, maybe we're tired of paying for all these separate things, or they're just inconvenient to have them all separate. We want to build one and control it ourselves. So I haven't seen that one yet, and I look forward to that someday. And then finally, you don't necessarily need an app if it's just to get your website on a phone. So you need to optimize your current website to look good on a phone. That doesn't mean you need a dedicated app. I would say it's cheaper in general. It'll be cheaper to just fix up your website to make it display on all the different size of screens than it would be to do the dedicated app. But maybe you have ideas like, for example, you want to do proximity detection when you're in a retail store from the website. Very difficult. Versus if you have that dedicated app, maybe it's also tied in with rewards and payment and things like that. You can add these features, but without that edge, if you're just looking to display your website, that's actually something else we can help you with at Bandicoders. So yeah, it would save you money to not build an app in some cases to meet your needs.
Great. Okay, so for companies wanting to move forward with mobile app development, how should they look to invest in something like this if they're on a smaller budget?
Yeah, on a smaller budget, first, you reach out. We can talk about your needs, and you have an idea. Our suggestion always is start basically small. Don't go all in with your whole idea. The idea that all the little features, they all matter. Eventually, they do. But if you start with just going back to the other example, I want to contact other drywallers in the industry whenever a job in this region comes up. Build just that, and we call it in software, we call it the minimum viable product. This is basically the smallest number of features you need to show that your idea could work. So maybe you can't sign in with Google and Facebook right away. Maybe you can't accept multiple payment providers or any payment providers at first. Maybe it's all, you arrange the meeting and then payment is done separately. But the thing you're trying to prove is, can I introduce customers to drywallers in my local towns? So we build that, and that actually, it takes less time. It focuses the efforts, and you can actually get that out to friends and family or industry experts to ask what they think. And when they all start saying, this would be great if I could just pay through the app, now you have some direction to where to wisely spend your next dollars. So yeah, when you're on a budget, basically, have the vision, but keep it under control, keep it the minimum viable product at first.
I love that. Okay, so what next steps should people take to start planning their mobile app project with Bandicoders?
Yeah, with Bandicoders, it's easy. You just go bandicoders.com. You schedule a discovery conversation with one of the managing directors. We talk to you about your needs, and we talk to you about costs and your budget and what a reasonable cost would be for the project, and how to proceed from there. We basically give you the advice from the beginning, and if it's not for you, then we can talk about maybe it's a website or something else.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing these great insights, and thank you for everyone for joining. People can visit bandicoders.com, as mentioned, to learn more about their offerings and to schedule a call with the Bandicoders team to get your custom mobile app or other project needs fulfilled. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right. Bye-bye.